Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to today's episode, the third edition of Live at 11:45. Yes, I know there are better names out there, but you know, it is what it is. So today I'm going to be talking about three things. I'm going to be talking about visibility when you feel like there's a sense of urgency, when it's time to really break away and go for it. And also I'm going to be speaking about authenticity in no particular order. So, what is this? Where's this come from? Why am I talking about it? So, first thing is, what is visibility? Now, visibility isn't a publicity stunt. Visibility isn't a trick that you pull to get more eyes on your work or what you do or your value. Visibility is about you. If I was to define it myself, redefine the word, it's about you feeling ready, comfortable and able to own your voice. Now, there's two different ways to look at this. Many of the people that I work with are business owners. Hello, 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 hello. Many of the people that I work with, say hello to Georgina when you hop on. They're business owners. They want to be putting themselves out there. They want to be letting people know about their work. And it's important for them, for people to understand them and what they do, who they can work with and that kind of thing. And in this, authenticity plays a huge, huge part in that. Then if you think about it from an employed professional perspective, maybe you're the CEO, maybe you are a senior manager, maybe you are aspiring for career progression. There's a certain amount of authenticity that you'll want to display at work. And also there'll be a certain amount of privacy that you want to hold because you feel like you want to be professional, and sometimes the lines get blurred between what is being professional and what is being, what is being professional and what's being authentic. So in no particular order, I wanted to talk about that feeling, and some of you may know that if you have felt this ever or are feeling this now, then by all means give me a thumbs up and a love heart. That feeling in your gut, it's like you're on fire. You really, you're ready to go out there. You're ready to tell people the stuff that you've learned about, the stuff that you've created, the way in which you can help the world. Maybe you're seeing a lot of stuff that's playing out now in politics, the environment, in health, and you're sick and tired of waiting in the wings and being quiet. And it's like, I'm going for it. I'm going for it like my hair's on fire. In a really kind of powerful way. Maybe you feel that your work is to empower others so that they can do the things that they want to do. So when you're ready to go for it, there will be this sense of urgency, not desperation, but urgency. This is not about putting yourself out there and pleading with people to like you, pleading with people to agree with you, pleading to be pleased. There's nothing about that. This is about knowing the effect of the work that you do, the value that you bring, and what you can put out there in the world, and how beneficial this will be for people right now. So if you're watching this live or on the replay and you have that feeling, by all means, thumbs up or love heart. It's nice to see a bit of pink across the screen, to be honest. Pink's not normally a colour that I really resonate with or go for, but it is nice to see that. If you already know the thing that you want to put out there in the world, then by all means type it in the box below. There will be other people that will rewatch these, and they'll be able to gain insights, be inspired about the things that you post too. Just seen a comment flash up, so I'm going to read that in just a second. So here's what to do. The very first step for anyone, and this is taken from the Visibility Accelerator program and the Visibility Activating system that I created quite some years ago. The very first thing to do, before you even think about the visibility of it all, whether you've been doing this for ages or it's your first day, is to get really crystal clear on your intent. What is your intent? It could be to help, to heal, to inspire, it could be to educate, it could be to give people a peek behind the scenes of how things really work, a peek behind the scenes of the industry that you're in, any of those things. But having a crystal clear vision on what you want for them, because there's a lot of talk around goal setting. What do you want for you? be clear on it, which is equally important, but what do you want for them? This is a really important place to start. So if you've got pen and paper and a timer anywhere near you, even just 3 minutes is enough to sink into that place of, why is this so important to me to share with the world? You know, why is this so important for me to share at work? Whatever that thing is, write it down just for yourself. You don't need to share it. You can if you want to, because I know it inspires others. I'm just going to read Georgina's comment. Great distinction between professional and authentic. So important right now. Going to have to watch the replay. No problem. Homeschooling. Oh, well, I'm live at 11:45 every Monday to Friday. Maybe if your kids want to learn something or know something from me, send me a private message and I'll happily do a session for them. That'd be quite good fun. 10 minutes or so. So thank you for watching and thank you for the comment. I love that. So that's the thing about urgency. Urgency is not desperation. Urgency isn't you forcing your work, your ideas, your business down someone's throat. Urgency is that urgency that you feel to put it out that good in the world. Okay. So the second thing, time to break away. Now, I became aware of something this morning which actually quite disturbed me. I don't know if you've ever had the experience of knowing somebody or thinking that you know somebody well. And this happens a lot on social media because of mediums like this, video, Facebook Live. People get a sense of who someone is. They get a sense of who they are. And have you ever had that experience where you think you know a brand, for example, and what they stand for, and then suddenly you become aware that they don't stand for that, they don't stand for what you thought they did, and on some levels they don't stand for you. Now, I'm not about making people wrong, because I am a true believer that everyone has a voice. How they choose to use it is very, very different. Whether I agree with it is very, very different. It's not down to me. I'm not judge and jury of the internet. The thing that I look for in the brands that I like and the people that I follow is I like an alignment of values. And if I find there's not an alignment of values, I very quickly kind of step back and move on. And this morning I was made aware of somebody who I've known of their work since 2012. And I really thought that they stood for good things and good people. Very recently, within the last few weeks, they've gone on these kind of big rants about a particular topic. Very political in its way, and there's nothing wrong with that. Marianne Williamson, I think, demonstrates this beautifully. How to be a public figure, how to be an activist, and how to meld politics and make the people matter in politics. She's a very, very beautiful example of this. But this other person, who is not Marianne Williamson, just to be clear, has come out with this tirade. I want to say this whole verbal spewing of something that she clearly believes in, and that's fine. You know, it's not what I believe in, it's not what I align with, and it's a dialogue in between. So all I've chosen to do is, there's a few friends that I care about, I've made them aware of the situation, up to them what they choose to do. You know, we all have freedom of speech and freedom of choice. And this is also one of the areas that when I'm working with clients that they almost feel held back on. They feel like they can't put their thoughts, their ideas and themselves out there. So here's a little guide of something you can think about when you're putting yourself out there. And by the way, I think authenticity is key. If you believe in something and stand for something, you believe in it, you stand for it, put it out there. 3 things to consider. Think about your subject matter. When you are talking about a subject, it might not be your normal subject matter, and that's fine. But if you're looking to build the credibility or your expert status as that subject matter expert, or maybe you're in an industry where you're known within your organisation for being the person that does the thing, that's really where a lot of your time and energy will be focused. Then for you to say, oh, and by the way, my favourite brand of, chocolate brownie is this, why don't you try it? There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you keep talking about cakes and brownies and food, it's very hard for the people to perceive the value that you add. So splaying that message out can sometimes make a huge, huge difference. So if you feel strongly about something, voice it. People need to know who you are. They need to like who you are really. They need to know you're a safe pair of hands. But also remember to keep kind of like tabs on the thing that you're credible for. When you're also speaking out about something, especially if it's a controversial subject or one that people aren't all in agreement with, think about your audience. And again, this is not to temper yourself or to edit what you're saying. This is to think about the audience and the sorts of messages that are useful for them to hear, the sorts of things that they might need to hear or they must hear. And again, use that as the filter to be visible and to share that. And then the next thing is the business. Now, I have to say, maybe controversially, I'm not a fan of being a certain way out in public for the purposes of my business. You know, if me saying something or doing something highly offends somebody and they really don't like it, I know that they've got the freedom to look elsewhere, to be elsewhere. It's not my job to grab, get and hold on to people. We're all free spirits. We all get to make the decisions that we want to make and the choices we want to make. So making something for the sake of the business is like staying in a marriage for the sake of the children, you know. If we strongly believe about something, put it out there. I'm sure as a business you'll find more and more of the people who align with you, who agree with you, who want to do more of what you do, be more of you, that will kind of fall in line with that. And the people that don't worry about them. There's somebody else out there for them. If you think about the world of politics, in a way there's kind of no right and wrong. There's just different people that we vote for. If you think about our thoughts and how we see life and our values, there is no right and wrong. It's just about how we think about things and what we hold dear to ourselves. So that should be exactly the same. When you're ready, you've got that sense of urgency, you want to put yourself out there, stay true to who you are. Stay really true to who you are. So I just want to give a good shout out to Tasha and Ria. Hello, thank you for watching. And by the way, do share this because part of the reason why I chose these very seemingly strange topics was because all of this week I've been, well not all of this week, but for a lot of this week I've been engaged live with clients on client calls. I've run a couple of private VIP days, and there's some of these topics that come up over and over again. And even for me, as the person that specialises in visibility, I still will need to dig deeper sometimes and evolve on a level of these very topics. And I figure if it's handy for them and it's handy for me, it may be handy for you too. So that's the thing that I want to say about that and authenticity. And authenticity is being authentic. Simply put, are you the same person on maybe your social media profiles, with your friends and family, you know, at work, with your communities, as you are when you sit by yourself, alone on a chair? Can you still validate that you are the same person when no one's watching as you are when you go out there in the world? That's basically, for me, the way to be authentic. So Tasha says, the more you're yourself, the more you find flow to service them with your passion. And that's absolutely true. If I come on here and pretend to be something that I'm not, two things are going to happen. I'm either going to attract loads of people who are the thing that I'm not, and the other thing that's going to happen is it's all smoke and mirrors. When they then get a bit closer to the work that I do and I get closer to them, there's going to be this mismatch. It's going to be like a misalignment. What's the point? So go forth, be visible. I'd love to hear what your mission, what your purpose feels like. And for those of you who are already out there and being visible, what are you known for? Type it in the box below. I'd love to hear more from you about what you do. So the next episode of Live at 11:45 will be on Monday. But in the meantime, if you tomorrow are available UK time at 10 a.m, don't worry if you're not, I'm sure will be a replay. If you're available tomorrow at 10 a.m, on the 10th of the 10th at 10 a.m, go over to Charl Wasmond, MBE, her business page, where I'll be talking about visibility. I'll actually be sharing 9 nuggets of how you can be visible right now. Even though there's a pandemic on, even if you've been doing it for years, even if you're just getting started, I'd love to have some live friendly faces on there. So go on over, it's Charl Wasmond, Wasmund is the surname. Go over there and I'll see you there live and direct tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thank you so much for joining me on this live, and thank you for those of you who share these videos. You never know who you help by sending them a little message and saying, here, I saw this. What are your thoughts? Lots of love to you. Thank you to Ria. Thank you to Tony. Thank you to Tasha. And thank you to Georgina. And those of you that popped up but didn't comment, that's fine. Bye for now. See you on Monday.